Picture a place where coral gardens flourish undisturbed beneath crystal waters, where futuristic villas hover above the sea like silver mirages, and where sustainability is not a marketing slogan, but the foundation of every decision. This isn't the Maldives. It isn't the Seychelles. This is Saudi Arabia's Red Sea transformation, a tourism venture so ambitious it aims to rewrite the rules of luxury travel. Stretching along the kingdom's untouched western shoreline, this development is far more than an upscale escape. It represents a strategic shift, a new chapter in economic evolution, environmental stewardship, and visionary design. What's rising from these shores is not just a destination, but an experiment in how tourism and nature can coexist without compromise. Spanning nearly 28,000 square kilometers, the master plan encompasses more than 90 islands, sweeping desert plains, rugged mountains, and even dormant volcanoes. Yet only a fraction of this territory will ever be built upon. The majority remains protected, preserved, intentionally untouched. The vision first emerged in 2017 under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman as a pillar of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 reform agenda. For decades, the country was primarily associated with religious pilgrimage to Mecca and Medina. Leisure tourism barely existed. But with oil no longer the sole focus of the future, Saudi Arabia began crafting a different narrative, one centered on global visitors, innovation, and high-end hospitality. The goal is clear: create a destination capable of standing alongside icons like Dubai, the Maldives, and other elite coastal escapes, while doing something radically different, building it sustainably from the ground up. From the beginning, conservation has been the blueprint. Only 22 islands are being developed. The rest are safeguarded as environmental reserves. Fragile coral ecosystems are monitored and protected through advanced marine science programs. Single-use plastics are banned. Waste is recycled or repurposed. Nothing goes to landfill. Perhaps most remarkably, the entire destination operates off-grid. In partnership with ACWA Power, one of the world's largest renewable energy infrastructures were constructed to support it. Vast solar fields and wind installations generate clean power for resorts, utilities, and transport systems. The ambition is complete carbon neutrality. At the heart of this gateway stands the Red Sea International Airport, which began welcoming travelers in 2023. Designed by Foster Plus partners, its architecture mirrors the desert's flowing forms. 5 sculptural pods arranged around a central hub. It became the world's first airport designed to operate entirely on renewable energy. Over 700,000 solar panels fuel its operations, while electric vehicles and seaplanes transport guests onward in silence. And the resorts? They feel like scenes from the future. One of the most talked-about openings is Shabara Resort, a remote island retreat that has flooded social media feeds with awe-inspiring visuals. Its reflective over-water villas, designed by Killer Design, resemble floating spacecraft gliding across turquoise waters. 73 villas sit lightly above the reef, powered by solar farms, supplied by desalinated water, and sustained by on-site recycling systems. It is luxury reimagined through an ecological lens. Then there's Desert Rock, carved directly into ancient granite mountains. Instead of reshaping the landscape, architects sculpted their designs into it. Villas are embedded within towering cliffs. Private plunge pools overlook endless desert horizons. By day, sunlight spills across raw stone walls. By night, the sky ignites with stars. It feels secluded, cinematic, almost surreal, yet entirely integrated with its surroundings. Other world-class properties have already begun welcoming guests. Six Senses Southern Dunes introduce eco-luxury wrapped in desert tranquility. The St. Regis Red Sea Resort brought elegant overwater villas to the coastline. New Juma, a Ritz-Carlton reserve, opened as an ultra-private island sanctuary. Each property adds another layer to the unfolding story. Economically, the stakes are enormous. Once complete, the project is projected to contribute billions annually to Saudi Arabia's GDP and create tens of thousands of jobs across hospitality, infrastructure, and environmental management. The introduction of streamlined e-visas signals a broader openness, inviting the world to experience a side of Saudi Arabia few had imagined before. And this is only Phase 1. Between 2026 and 2030, expansion plans include additional resorts, cultural venues, entertainment districts, and lifestyle hubs. Long-term visions extend even further: wellness retreats, medical tourism, cutting-edge hospitality technology, possibly even underwater accommodations. If successful, this coastal experiment could redefine what sustainable tourism truly means, not just minimizing harm, but actively restoring and protecting the environment while delivering extraordinary experiences. Because what is unfolding along the Red Sea is more than construction. It is a statement that luxury does not have to come at the planet's expense. A statement that deserts can become destinations without losing their soul. A statement that a nation long defined by one narrative can confidently write another. Walk along the shoreline at sunrise, and you'll notice something unusual. Silence. No jet skis roaring across the horizon. No overcrowded beaches. No skyline suffocating the view. Just wind moving across dunes, waves folding gently into coral lagoons, an architecture that feels intentional rather than intrusive. This is slow luxury. Measured, curated, limited. Visitor numbers are intentionally capped to prevent over-tourism. Environmental impact is continuously monitored through data-driven systems. Marine life is studied before, during, and after development to ensure biodiversity is not only preserved, but improved. The ambition is to leave the ecosystem healthier than it was before construction began. Even transportation inside the destination is designed with restraint. Electric buggies glide quietly between villas. Boats operate on cleaner systems. Energy grids are managed through smart technology that balances supply and demand in real time. Behind the scenes, artificial intelligence optimizes operations, water use, and waste systems, invisible to guests, yet essential to the mission. And yet, despite the advanced engineering, the emotional experience remains deeply human. Private dinners beneath open desert skies, diving excursions through vibrant coral sanctuaries, wellness retreats where the only soundtrack is the wind moving across stone. It's not about excess. It's about immersion. Saudi Arabia is positioning this coastline as a new benchmark, not merely competing with established luxury hotspots, but attempting to out-innovate them. Instead of copying the formula of glass towers and crowded marinas, this project leans into space, nature, and intentional design. The world is watching closely. Some view it as bold. Some see it as experimental. Others question whether such an ambitious balance between development and conservation can truly be sustained long-term. But regardless of perspective, one thing is undeniable. It has already shifted the global tourism conversation. For decades, travelers associated Saudi Arabia almost exclusively with pilgrimage. Now, images of floating villas, desert-integrated resorts, and pristine island chains are reshaping perception. And beyond the polished villas and architectural marvels, there is something deeper unfolding here, a shift in mindset. For decades, mega developments around the world followed a familiar pattern: build fast, build big, and deal with the consequences later. Coastlines were reshaped. Reefs were damaged. Ecosystems were sacrificed in the name of progress. Hey, the approach attempted to reverse that equation. Before a single foundation was poured, extensive environmental studies mapped marine habitats, coral density, wildlife migration patterns, and wind behavior. Construction zones were carefully selected to avoid ecological stress points. In some areas, conservation teams are actively restoring coral systems, aiming to increase biodiversity by up to 30% over time. That's not just preservation. That's regeneration. And regeneration carries risk. Because this project exists under a global microscope, investors are watching. Environmentalists are watching. Competing tourism hubs are watching. If it succeeds, it validates a new model of development. If it fails, it becomes a cautionary tale. But ambition has never been small here. This coastline, once largely untouched and unknown to the international leisure market, is being repositioned as one of the world's most exclusive escapes. Access is controlled. Capacity is managed. The experience is designed to feel rare, almost secretive. Imagine arriving by seaplane, the desert fading behind you as turquoise water stretches endlessly ahead. You step onto a private dock. Warm air carries a scent of salt and sand. Staff greet you quietly, not with spectacle, but with precision. The architecture reflects the sun like liquid metal. Everything feels intentional. There are no chaotic crowds, no flashing billboards, no towering skyline blocking the horizon. Just design, nature, and silence in balance. And perhaps that is the most radical idea of all. luxury that whispers instead of shouts. As the next phases move forward, cultural centers and entertainment districts will emerge, adding depth beyond resorts. Saudi heritage, art, music, and local craftsmanship are expected to become part of the visitor journey, blending modern innovation with historical identity. This is not just about attracting travelers. It is about reshaping perception. For young Saudis, it opens doors to careers in hospitality, sustainability, aviation, marine science, and design. For international visitors, it offers a new lens through which to see a country often misunderstood. Yet questions remain. Can renewable systems sustain rising demand long term? Can coral ecosystems truly thrive alongside growing visitor numbers? Can exclusivity remain intact as popularity increases? These uncertainties hover like heat above desert dunes. But for now, the momentum is undeniable. Air traffic is increasing. New resorts are preparing soft launches. Global media outlets continue to spotlight the transformation. Social feeds are filled with drone shots of mirrored villas floating against impossibly blue water. The narrative is evolving in real time. And maybe that is what makes this project so compelling. It feels unfinished, alive, in motion, a coastline being reintroduced to the world, a nation redefining its economic future, a test case for sustainable mega-development at unprecedented scale. Years from now, people may look back and say this was a moment tourism changed direction, when destinations began designing around nature instead of despite it. Or they may say it was an ambitious dream that pushed the limits of possibility. Either way, the Red Sea experiment is underway. The waters are clear. The solar fields are humming. The villas are welcoming their first guests. And the world is watching to see what happens next.